So, in as much as we are all feeling too bad about the arrest of Very Dark Man based on his status and the positive vital role Very Dark Man has been playing in our society, in our country, because Very Dark Man has affected so many lives in Nigeria, both children, youths, and adults, like aged people. Very Dark Man has affected communities and villages. He has done positive things in Nigeria. Based on that, everybody is feeling too bad why Very Dark Man will be arrested like a common criminal without no pre-information, and as it is enshrined in Nigerian constitution. However, I want to tell Nigerians and specifically the youth that the arrest of Very Dark Man, we need to look above that of GT Bank and EFCC. Let me tell you something. Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, Nnamdi Kanu, and Very Dark Man are almost on the same page. I'm telling the truth. Though Nnamdi Kanu was asking for the freedom of Biafra, for the separation of Biafra from the so-called country called Nigeria, but at the same time, Nnamdi Kanu was asking for the freedom of the black man from the white control. Nnamdi Kanu was asking for the freedom of the African nation, of the African continent from the white control. And the same thing is what Ibrahim, the president of Burkina Faso, is doing. And if you can digress a little, you see that Very Dark Man is equally doing something similar, trying to create an enabling environment for the black man to thrive, rather than depending on the white man, rather than depending on what comes from the western country. So the arrest of Very Dark Man, I can bet you that when Very Dark Man comes out, he will realize that it may not really have anything to do with GT Bank. It may be a coincidence that he was in GT Bank as when he was arrested. But I can tell you that even if they did not tell Very Dark Man that he was arrested because of white interference, because the white people, look, the white man does not want anything that will make the black man to realize himself. They don't want it. And that is why they keep us in perpetual mental slavery. They make us believe them so much, and they make us believe that everything must come from them. Our leaders are in mental slavery. African leaders, Nigerian leaders, they are in mental slavery by the white men. And these days you realize that people are beginning to stand up to speak against this mental slavery that our leaders has been into for years in the hands of the whites. And this is the same thing that is happening to those of us who are the common Nigerians and common Africans. People like Nnamdi Kanu has been fighting these things over the years all alone. And Nnamdi Kanu has, motivated so many people, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, to start speaking up. And that is why the white people, they try so much to hold Nnamdi Kanu captive. Ibrahim in Burkina Faso is doing the same thing, and they are against him. And Very Dark Man is doing the same thing, and they are against him. So we need to look above GT Bank, EFCC, and the rest of them, and know that, look, there is something that, look, the white people may have hand in the arrest of Very Dark Man. They will not tell Very Dark Man, but I'm telling you now that Very Dark Man, even if they release him, he will be arrested, rearrested, arrested, rearrested, and at some point they will hold him for a very long time. If Very Dark Man comes out, if he escapes this, when he comes out, look, he needs to juxtapose or re-strategize his way of, disseminating his information to the public. Because I can tell you the truth, the white man uses Nigerian government, Nigerian leaders, and Nigeria as a country to perpetrate their acts in Africa. Yes, they do it every now and then. They don't want the black man to know himself. They want you to remain depending on them all your life. And that is why when they see anybody who is speaking out, before you know it, they will go after the person. Look at what is happening to Burkina Faso president. They are trying all means to nail that man. They are trying all means to hold down that man. Even though that Africans are beginning to speak out, they cannot move in freely again. But I can tell you that if they mean it, they will pick that man up. I can tell you, if the white men, if the West minutes to pick the Burkina Faso president, they will pick him. They will pick him. You know why? They tell us that we don't know anything. Till today, the white man sees the black man as a monkey who knows nothing. You cannot decide for yourself. So whatever you decide, they will first of all filter it before they can pass judgment. This is what is happening in Africa. There are 1,001 people in Africa who has been arrested and killed, who have been trying to speak out. Do you know that Fela's castration, arrest, and other things that happen, injustice in fact, in general, that happens to Fela, the white people have hand in it. Are you aware? The white people have hand in the injustices that happened to Fela until he died. The white people does not want any of these things to happen. I mean, they don't want the total recall of the black man. They don't want the black man to understand himself and his environment. Even some of the food they send to us here, look, these are the things that they have already poisoned to affect our brain, that we cannot decide for ourselves. We cannot do things for ourselves. So what is happening to the very dark man today is not just about Nigeria, but there is Western interference in Nigeria, and it's in Africa, in Nigeria, and it's affecting every man who is speaking out. So we should start speaking against the interference of the white man in Africa.